No. God.
Judge, are you ready? I'm ready.
Yes.
All right, we're here on cause number 2013-184, State of Mississippi versus Eric Law. You're Mr. Law, is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Law, you've been sworn in, so the answer you will be sworn in under penalty of perjury. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You filed a petition to enter a plea of guilty. It looks like the sexual battery is charged in count 1. What will happen on the other counts?
So Richard Long process,
Mr. Law, your petition indicates that your social security number is 228-413-963. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your date of birth is September 5th, 80. Is that correct?
Yes.
You finished 16 years of school when you're able to read and write. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol here today?
No.
Have you ever been treated for any mental disease or disorder?
No.
Did you read and sign your petition to enter a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Is everything in this petition true and correct?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss with your attorney all the facts and circumstances related to the crime that you're offered to plead guilty to?
Yes, sir.
Did your discussions with your attorney include any possible offenses that you may have with this charge?
Yes, sir.
Did your discussions with your attorney also include the elements of the crime?
Yes.
Those elements of these on about November the 22nd, 2012 through February the 25th, 2013 in Madison County. You being a male human being above the age of 18 years whose date of birth is September the 5th, 80. Did willful and lawful function engage in sexual penetration as defined by law by engaging in fellatio with A.B., a female child at least 14 years of age but under 16 years of age, whose date of birth is November the 22nd, 1997, with A.B. being 36 months or more younger than you. Do you understand those elements?
Yes.
You understand you have a right to be represented by an attorney at all critical stages of proceedings against you.
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to a speedy public trial by jury, and that the trial you be presumed to be innocent. You understand that?
Yes.
Should you go to trial before you can be found guilty and sentenced, each of the 12 jurors would have to believe beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty before you can be found guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you would go to trial, you'd have the right to confront and cross-examine all the witnesses called to testify against you, and you'd have the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to remain silent, which means nobody can force you or compel you to give evidence against yourself. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
If you would go to trial, you'd have the right to either testify or not to testify, and that choice would be yours. If you chose not to testify and you asked you to do so, then I would instruct the jury that no adverse inference could be drawn by you exercising your right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you would go to trial and the jury's verdict would be against you, you have the right to an appeal. If you couldn't afford the cost of that appeal, that cost plus the cost of your attorney would be paid for you by the state. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving, giving up all of these rights, and all those rights are set out in the petition?
Yes.
Are you telling me then that that's what you want to do? You want to waive all these rights and proceed with the guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
You understand the minimum and maximum punishment to be imposed for the crime that you're often plead guilty to.
Yes.
The minimum period of incarceration is 0 years, the maximum period of incarceration is 30 years, the minimum fine is $0, the maximum fine is $10,000. Any sentence would have to be served day for day, and you'd also be required to register as a sex offender. Do you understand all those elements?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to go forward with the plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any prior felony convictions?
No, sir.
Do you have any other felony charges presently pending?
No, sir.
We've talked with you about the status of a habitual offender. Habitual offender is someone who's got 2 or more prior felony convictions. Should you ever attain that status and be charged, tried, and convicted as an habitual offender, then you'd be required to serve the maximum punishment authorized by law for whatever that offense may be, and you'd have to serve it right for 100% or day for day. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
In other words, what I'm telling you is that this is a conviction that can later be used to enhance your punishment, or you continue to get in trouble with the law. Do you understand?
Yes.
And knowing that, you still wish to go forward with the plea?
Yes, sir.
What's the factual basis?
Order about or between the dates of November 22nd, 2012 through or until February 25th, 2013 in Madison County, Mississippi. This defendant did engage in fellatio with A.D., a female child who was 15 years old at the time, during which time this defendant was at least 36 months or older than A.D.
Mr. Law, do you have any disagreement on factual basis?
No, sir.
Counsel, do you have any disagreement on factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Law, has anyone used in threats, force, and intimidation ever to change your plea from not guilty to guilty?
No.
Has anyone made you any promises of leniency in ever to change your plea?
No, sir.
After discussions with your attorney, are you the one who decided to plead guilty?
Yes.
Are you telling me then that you're free and voluntarily pleading guilty to this crime?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
You understand that I'm not bound by your recommendation to state make this a sentence, and instead I can impose the maximum sentence authorized by law.
Yes, sir.
And knowing that, you still wish to go forward with your plea?
Yes, sir.
Is there a claim for restitution?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if I accept your plea of guilty that you will not have a right to appeal this conviction?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by Mr. Baldridge. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You got any complaints you wish to make about your attorney?
No, sir.
Do you have any questions about your rights, any questions about the crime that you're offered to plead guilty to?
No, sir.
What's the recommendation?
Sir recommends a sentence of 20 years in the custody of Mississippi Department of Corrections, with 12 years being suspended and the defendant serving 8 years. After release, the defendant is to be placed on 5 years of supervised probation. Defendant is to register as a sex offender, pay $500 in investigative costs to the Madison Police Department, $500 in investigative costs to the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, and at all times during which he is incarcerated and on probation, he is to have no contact, direct or indirect, with the minor victim or her family. And we also ask that he pay any court cost fees or other assessments.
Is that the recommendation that you expect to hear, Mr. Locke?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Baldridge, is that the recommendation that you went over with your client before we begin this plea?
Yes, sir.
All of that's not pertaining to the petition, the essential parts of it are terms of probation, and what the payment of the cost or not. You did go over all those with Mr. Locke.
Yes,
Is that correct, Mr. Locke?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Law, it's not too late at this point to stop this hearing and proceed to trial, but it will be once I accept your plea of guilty. Before I do that, I need to make certain this is what you want to do. Do you want to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No, sir.
How do you plead the crime of sexual battery is charged in count 1 cause number 2013-184? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Counsel, don't get a reason why it's plea of guilty should not be accepted.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Law, finds you plead guilty is free, voluntarily, ignoring an intelligent mate, and finding has a factual basis. Therefore, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty and adjudicate you to be guilty of sexual battery charged in count 1 of this cause. A judgment conviction will be entered against you. I don't believe there's a need for a pre-sentence report, but have victims in this case been made aware of this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Been made aware of the recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. They're in support of this recommendation by our office. However, they elected to not be present today.
Oh, that's my question. Do they wish to be present at sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
I'm prepared to go forward with sentencing then. I'll hear anything on behalf of the defendant.
We have nothing further on prepared to go forward without a pre-sentence investigation.
Anything from the state?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to accept the recommendation. Be the citizen of the court, Mr. Law, that you served a term of 20 years in the custody of the City Department of Corrections. The last 12 years will be suspended. You'll be placed on 5 years supervised probation on the court standing order of supervision, specific conditions of which will be that you register as a sex offender as required by law, that you pay investigative costs of $500 to the Madison PD and Madison SO, that you pay further condition of probation be that you have no contact with the victim A.B. or the victim's family, either direct or indirect, during the period of probation. Have you, that's the registration form.
Yeah, actually, there should be one filed along with the petition. But we can sign it when it's not there.
There's one on the petition, but I need two. There needs to be one. All right. That'll be the sense of the court, Mr. Law. You